Soldiers follow orders.
Hello YouTube, this is DVD Review Studios here, and today I thought I would divulge in some speculation relating to the animated Star Wars series The Bad Batch and what the future of this show is currently looking like. At the moment we are approaching the season finale this week, which is the second part in a two-part story arc. We left the last episode on a very sudden cliffhanger that I certainly did not expect. We did also have news of a second season of the show being confirmed. There's no release date on this as of yet, but a small preview was revealed stating the show would return sometime in 2022. I feel this announcement could have probably waited for a couple of weeks after the first season ended, but then again, Lucasfilm probably wanted to get some form of statement out there about the future of the show. It could perhaps be considered as scaremongering, but I was genuinely concerned that The Bad Batch would not receive a second season. For those out of the loop, The Bad Batch is basically a successor to the Clone Wars TV series. It retains the same CGI animation style, which really shows its progression reflecting back on the content from 2008. I've been very impressed with the amount of detail captured in these visuals. The animation is more vibrant and far more intricate than ever before, but this implies that the show is expensive to produce. Reinforcing this, rumored statistics from George Lucas himself are available online claiming that each half-hour episode of The Clone Wars was reportedly budgeted to approximately $1 million. With this series being a passion project, George was fully invested in making his vision come to life, regardless of cost. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Lucasfilm under Disney. This is evident from the production of Star Wars Rebels, which slimmed its budget to the bare minimum, particularly for its first season. Purely speculation, but I feel Disney would have been hesitant to place such a large budget into a series like The Bad Batch. The success behind the final season of The Clone Wars likely helped contribute to the series receiving the green light. As with anything streaming related, it is almost impossible to find any accurate statistics for how well a show has performed. With a second season on the way, clearly things must be going well. Episode 15, titled Return to Kamino, was extremely enjoyable, with an ending that I personally have some very mixed feelings on. Hopefully this will be resolved in the next episode. To summarize in short, Hunter gets captured, the other clones attempt to save him, Crosshair shares an evocative monologue about being left behind, and then unexpectedly, the cloning facility on Kamino is destroyed by the Empire. I did like the conflict shown in Crosshair, who betrayed the Batch at the beginning of the series. He reverses this on the other clones, stating that they left him behind and that he would therefore give them a chance to join him as brothers once again under the Empire. There is likely more to this plot involving the child character Omega, but I was hoping we would see more of Kamino across the series. With the show's current direction, I would like to think there is a lot more going on behind the scenes. Introducing clone characters such as Captain Hauser, it's almost as though the series is foreshadowing some form of clone uprising. My hope was that the series would eventually lead to a clone trooper rebellion on Kamino, but this seems less likely now. Fans have drawn a comparison to a video game plot point explored in the 2005 first-person shooter Star Wars Battlefront 2. This was known as the Kamino Uprising. The event is sadly not part of the current canonical view of the franchise, but the potential behind the Bad Batch series argued that it could have happened to some degree. As part of the game, the Kamino Uprising saw a detachment of 501st Imperial troopers strike against a new generation of clones bred to fight back against the Empire. Pointing out the obvious, the Empire won. One aspect of this plot I really liked, which would have heavily suited the current Disney canon of Star Wars, was utilizing young Boba Fett as a hired mercenary. Having grown up on Kamino, he knows the facility better than any regular clone trooper. Plus, fighting clones of himself, of his father, would have provided some unique character development. As for where the show is heading, things are very much up in the air after episode 15. I hope we'll see some form of clone uprising in the near future. Crosshair's loyalty is the most questionable aspect of this episode going forward. He claims his inhibitor chip has been removed, but I doubt this is true. If anything, the Empire may have told him this information, but instead the behavioral modification was intensified. This would see the Empire lying to him at face value. If Crosshair were to rejoin the Bad Batch, we would therefore need a new villain. I personally didn't think he would join his brothers, but now it seems more likely. Once he learns that Admiral Rampart and the Empire did essentially betray him and in turn the clones, he may come to his senses. It would seem redundant to kill off the character, but perhaps some form of sacrifice is in order. Ending the first season with a major character death is something I had envisioned from the very beginning. Crosshair has done some terrible things while indoctrinated by the Empire. Can he really live with himself after killing the innocent civilians as seen in the third episode? If he does live, some form of revenge plot against the Empire would be another interesting way to utilize his character, where he would likely go after Rampart himself. One clone trooper I feel is overdue for an appearance is Commander Cody. From online speculation, Cody has been rumored as a potential villain spot in the Obi-Wan Kenobi live-action series. This would make sense since Cody did try to kill Kenobi, as the pair were evidently close throughout the Clone War. If this fell through, having Cody as the main antagonist of the Bad Batch Season 2 would be a fair compromise. With Captain Rex seemingly having more involvement in the events yet to come, some sort of confrontation between the two would make sense in the long-term plan for this clone-centric series. There's still lots of Star Wars content planned, almost to a point of oversaturation, but the TV shows feel like they have a stronger element of satisfaction in comparison to the movies. 2022 is going to be a huge year for Lucasfilm. With the Book of Boba, Mando Season 3, Kenobi, the Cassian Andor spin-off, the Ahsoka show, and now the Bad Batch returning, it feels as though we will have new Star Wars content for every week of the year. I'm still banking on more Clone Wars content eventually coming. The unfinished episodes have an interesting history which I plan to further discuss on the channel across the coming months. But let me know how you feel about the Bad Batch series. Have you enjoyed the show thus far? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and for more content, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, DVD Review Studios, for more upcoming videos.
Are you threatening me?